so delightful. Since there's no place left to listen to anything, we're here with
Wow,
the new
that
CU
was
podcast, CU podcast, CU podcast. I don't know where I was
poorly
going with that.
thought out.
Absolutely. Welcome to the CU podcast. This might be the last new one of the year, last fresh one for Tuesday, December 17th, 2019. Don't worry, we'll do some recap episodes maybe later on, or best of. That's Ian Ferguson.
Howdy.
I'm Pat Contra. I'm feeling kind of like in my own head today. On the show, we'll be talking about Xbox Series X. Pokemon Company going after leakage. They're trying to stop leakage. Bootleg NES Classic console seized. The Pornhub year in review. Christmas memories, perhaps. And a Patreon poll topic. To start, Ian, is your Christmas shopping all done?
No.
No, you got some people left to.
Yeah, I mean, I hate Christmas shopping. I don't want to talk about Christmas shopping. I don't want to talk about it's awful. I hate doing it.
Yeah, you go on a couple websites, click some buttons, it's good to go, Ian.
Misery.
Well, I got Ian's present while we were preparing for the podcast. All of a sudden, what was your reaction? What did you say? You're just like, Ultimate Fishing Simulator.
Oh, so Steam Auto just starts up when I turn my computer on. And I'm sitting here and we're getting ready and I'm overlooking things and this window pops up with Ultimate Fishing Simulator and I'm like, why is this popping up? We just talked about it. I was like, oh, Pat got me Ultimate Fishing Simulator. So I have two fishing games.
I got you two fishing games.
I think the other one was like Fishing World Adventure. So I'm looking forward to actually playing those.
Yeah.
One
was a lot more than the other. They both got good reviews, it looks like.
Well, hopefully they'll be fun. The one is the one that we talked about last week, right? By the people who are doing the Jesus game.
Yes.
So
yes,
I'll have to check that out, and we'll see if we'll see if it bodes well for I Am Your Principal.
Yes. I think we have to keep it on the radar. See how put it through its paces. The fishing company.
Yeah.
And so yeah, mine is just about done. My shopping. I just got Vonnie something. You recommended something nice for Vonnie. Shh, don't tell Vonnie. And then I have to buy one more gift and I'm done. I'm at the point where it's just gift baskets.
Sure.
Not gift cards, gift baskets. Has at least a little bit of thought. Gift cards has almost none.
Well, and a gift basket is something that can be used like immediately.
Yeah, it's stuff you're never gonna buy for yourself. It's always like those little fancy higher end like supermarket little places where you can buy wine and like crackers and little cheese spreads and the olive tapenade and things like that, tapenade, whatever, that you'll never buy for yourself unless you're reminded it exists. It's just nice. I got one of my friends like a little like prosecco one. It's like a prosecco and then like all the little things you eat while you're relaxing with your loved ones or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, so no, my shopping's just about done here though. And then, like I said before, for New Year's, for Christmas Eve, we're gonna have a best of CU podcast.
Yep.
We've never done one before in 6 years. There's enough for probably 6. We're gonna tape some intros and rejoiners. I think the Cleveland Chameleon might be its own separate one, the whole saga.
Yeah, I think that's its own.
That'll be like volume 2 of the best of.
Right.
So we'll record that, and then you'll get one there, and you might get another one before we come back to record another fresh one after maybe the first of the year. We'll see. We'll see what happens around the end of the year, if we're around for that. We'll see. But definitely for Christmas Eve, I'm not going to be around for that. So Ian, Skywalker. Oh, real quick, Ian, you didn't notice someone behind you. You didn't notice. Look down. It's Who Clogged the Toilet, Luigi. Oh.
Awful.
Move to your right a little bit so that people can see it real quick. It's Who Clogged Your Toilet, Luigi, paired with Where's My Keys, Mario.
Where's my keys?
So we got both of them right there. He's got to get them up in the same level. I can't believe you didn't notice that sitting there.
Guys, please tell me. Where is my fucking keys?
Who Clogged the Toilet, Luigi? What's going on? I could have used that for the last marathon.
Yep.
I could have.
You could have.
In a big way. That's a story I'll tell 10 years from now.
That's a hell of a title.
Yes, that's a big tale.
Yep.
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. By the way, Ian, did your Steam come up again?
No, because I shut it down.
Okay. Well, Ian, because I'm so nice, I got you a Steam gift card as well.
Oh, well, thank you.
So when I Am Your Principal comes out, you have to get it. That's the one condition.
Okay. All right.
So there you go. I wanted it all happen at the same time, but the fishing thing got ruined. Okay, that's done.
I was still wonderfully surprised.
All right. Well, you're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. You're a semi decent friend.
I'm gonna play the hell out of some fishing.
You're gonna play the hell. You're gonna fish the hell out of.
Fish the hell out of that water.
You're gonna hook some virtual fish in the face.
Yep.
And toss them back. All right. Ian, real quick before we get to Star Wars, Demon's Tilt, the spiritual successor to the Devil's Crush, and I guess Alien Crush, but it's devilish. It's coming to Switch like next week.
Yeah,
out of nowhere.
I'm excited about it. So I've actually been following this game. I was actually playing it last night. I've been playing a bunch of games. I'll get into that in a second. But Demon's Tilt is fantastic. It is like you said, a spiritual successor to Devil's Crush. It even has the transforming face in the center.
Oh, it does.
Yep. It's like a nun face that transforms and gets progressively.
It says in the trailer, occult pinball action arrives.
Yep. It's 3 layers. It's so there's 3 floors. The bottom level, there's enemies you can destroy. I mean, I'm being very simplistic here. The middle layer is the transforming face, and the top layer is awesome. It's got this fucking lion face that's covered in armor with a snake arm. So I guess that would be what is that? It's not a griffin. A basilisk, maybe? I don't know. It's something. And,
okay.
And a shield, and you can destroy it, and it gets progressively crazier. And the pixel art is just nuts.
It looks like a jaguar when I'm looking at it.
The art in the game is insane.
Yeah. It even has the same font that the TurboGrafx games had, like the simplistic, 80s.
It's got the eye. So, and there are a couple of different modes. There's the standard mode, and then there's the EX Plus mode that does have the mini game tables as well.
Okay.
So, like you can unlock the mini games. The sound design is something I really, really like in the game. There's like a lady announcer that I really enjoy the sound of the voice, and the music is fantastic.
I love the copy of this press release. Turbocharged Pinball is back. And then it also says, what was the other thing? A mega-driven soundtrack. Wink. And then some of the
because it's all done with FM synthesis, so it sounds it's exactly like a Sega Genesis soundtrack.
It includes stuff like the Manticore, Part Line, Serpent and Scorpion, and then the Shub Calamari. I don't know what that is, but I want to battle the Shub Calamari. 120 million years old is just a baby when it comes to cosmic gods, so I guess they're Shub Calamari or gods in the game. All right, and there's a priestess, and there's like, you got pentagrams coming at you can hit and things. It looks incredible. It looks incredible. Yeah. And that's coming to Switch. And you can use your flip grips that we finally got, or you had to reorder.
Yeah, we got them. So, yeah, even though I bought this on Steam, I will probably buy it again on...
Or you can return it for I Am Your Principal. You can return it on Steam.
No, I bought this game ages ago. This has been in early development for a while.
Can you return stuff on Steam still?
You can, but I mean...
Within time limit?
Yeah, there's a time limit. No, I got this probably 6 months ago in early access and was playing it. But I will probably get it again for Switch for the Tate mode, the flip grip.
You say tape mode or taint mode?
Tate.
Tate?
Tate. Tate.
That's a thing?
Yeah, Tate mode is what it's called for shooters. Like if there's like a Tate mode would mean like on a console shooter you could set it for Tate mode and you could then,
which just means vertical screen.
Yeah,
I never heard that expression in my life. Tate.
Tate.
Okay, is that a spread as well with the Prosecco gift basket? I don't know. The Tate spread. And then what else is going on? Not for Resale is going to print on Blu-ray. So that'll be available for purchase in January, and then we're going to have it on Amazon as well for purchase. And then I'm trying to figure out a way to sell it digitally on my site as well. But that's going to be cool when that finally hits. And, of course, you can get the certain Super Nintendo guidebook.
It's Tate mode. I'm sorry, not Tate mode.
Tate.
Tate.
A hot Tate. You can go to ultimatenintendo.com. Get your post-Christmas shop again, because if you order it today, there's no guarantee you're going to get it by Christmas, unless you live like within probably a 4-state radius from one of the warehouses in Michigan. So if you're in the Midwest, you might be able to get it. California, we'll see. We'll see about that. We'll see how quick that media mail gets there. It's usually a week for media mail. It's like 6 days or so, 5 to 7 days, depending on where you are. But all right, just order it today when you hear this. That's all, and you might get it the day after Christmas. Anyway, so early Star Wars reviews are in for the Rise of Skywalker. He's been rising for 9 movies now, a Skywalker of some shape or form, I guess. He's been drifting down and rising back up. Our pal Andre Meadows went to the premiere last night, and then there's no Rotten Tomatoes reviews yet, but I guess there's probably a boycott, or not a boycott. There's an embargo until probably like, I'm guessing like Wednesday when they come out. But the early word on Rise of Skywalker, I think, is overall positive from what I see it on Twitter.
Yeah,
overall positive. But I also saw that like it's just a ton of plot versus characterization. It's just like a lot of action and just a lot of things going on that you got to keep track of. There's like a heavy exposition that, for the first like 45 minutes just to set up everything, and then one person said there's like enough plot for like 3 movies in this film. I'm like, I'm not shocked, because there's a lot of loose ends that they gotta tie up. The Knights of Ren allegedly are in this movie, and they were not in the second movie at all. So you got to bring them back and put them in the plot and fight them. And there's a lot of stuff. The Emperor's back, and there wasn't a shred of evidence that the Emperor was going to be in any of these movies until now.
Right.
So I mean, like, there's a lot going on here in this strange, bizarre trilogy. This is going to go down as, I think, in the annals of film history here. And then who knows, they're probably going to have Luke come back as a Force spirit and talk about shit. Who knows if he's going to help fight the Emperor. I'm excited just because, like, I'm hopefully going to go in spoiler free. I want to see what happens here, but I think I'm not going to be overjoyed at the end of this. I just think I won't be overjoyed. I'll be like, it was a thing that happened. This is the same way at the end of Revenge of the Sith. I'm like, it's a thing. It was like homework at that point. It was like an assignment I had to complete. Right?
Sure. For me, I can't get excited. It wasn't like The Last Jedi destroyed it for me. I got to be honest with you. Force Awakens left me without a whole lot to get excited about.
Sure.
I mean, as much as I enjoyed watching it in the theater, as a popcorn flick, and it's not like this hasn't been said a billion times, but the fact that it basically rehashed the beats of the first movie, so point for point, was like, I don't know, it didn't leave me excited. And then I didn't think The Last Jedi was an awful movie, but it didn't set me up for anything else particularly exciting either. So now it's a third movie, and this is supposed to be a big finale of what? If the first 2 movies in a trilogy don't get me excited, I can't possibly be that excited for the finale.
It was speculated. I mean, not that I'm a genius, but this is a course correction to The Last Jedi, this movie, and that's what people are tweeting. Like, one person said, who is this? This is an actual. Was this a movie person here? See, some of the New York Times says Rise of Skywalker could only have been ruder to Rian Johnson if they had motion smoothed it. I'm not sure what the motion smooth is a reference to. I'm trying to think about that, but J.J. Abrams has come out and said as politely as he could that there's things that he disagreed with in The Last Jedi, that he would have gone in a different direction. It's the nicest possible way he could say. So at the end of the day, you're going to get 2 movies that are actually not even that much connected, because you have a gap between them and a standalone middle that looks like almost nothing to do with the 2 films around it.
That's how I feel about I think that's my take on the trilogy. I don't think any of the films are going to feel like they're linked together.
And that's not the director's fault. That's not Rian Johnson's fault. You can give as much shit you want. That's Kathleen Kennedy's fault, running the studio.
Sure.
And not putting together a solid vision and sticking to it. Like Kevin Feige has for all the Marvel movies. This is a multi-billion-dollar property, and it's still unfathomable that you can say, all right, well, JJ did some setup, but we don't even have a full story arc that's really on paper, so Rian Johnson, you do whatever the hell you want for this second movie. Consequences be damned. I just can't believe that happened. And this is the same company that does the MCU. I just can't believe that. And I know some behind the scenes. I won't say anything. But that's what it comes down to. So that's why I'm really interested to see how this ends up, because if they're trying to shove in three films worth of plot into one movie, wow, this is going to be a big bag of just shit going on. It's going to be like the Fast and the Furious of the Star Wars movies, where it's just like 2 minutes of plot and then like 20 minutes of action and 2 minutes of plot and exposition, and then just like tons of things going on to rush through this. So we'll see. And plus, there's new characters that they're introducing in this one as well. And plus, Lando comes back in this one. So it's like fan service, tons of story, lots of action. Emperor comes back. There's rumors of other weird shit going on that people were surprised about. That this is going to be, I think this is going to be so divisive. Like The Last Jedi was divisive. I think it's also going to be divisive because this is the last movie to end this saga. Where people are going to say, oh, you tied up well, or this was just a fucking mess. That's just a feeling I have.
I don't think there's any possible way you can tie it all up. I don't even know that I'm going to go to see this in theaters. I didn't see The Last Jedi in theaters either. At this point, I may just wait for it to come out. And I mean, I'll look if everyone, if reviews come out and it's extremely positive somehow across the board, then I might try to go see it. But I still haven't even seen Knives Out, and that was the movie I wanted to see.
Speaking of Rian Johnson, yeah, it looks good.
That was the movie I wanted to see this holiday.
This one tweet says the positives were epic, nonstop action, which is weird for a Star Wars movie because you need those quiet times to develop the characters. There's no Star Wars movie with nonstop action at all. It's usually like 20 minutes in between action scenes at least.
Sure. Lots
of fan service. See, I don't like fan service at all. I don't
and which fans are they servicing is my question.
Original trilogy, I guess.
Okay.
I'm guessing like there's no reason to bring Lando back when he's like 80 years old. And I don't think they would have brought Lando back unless like whatever. I just don't I almost didn't want to see Han Solo again just to kill him off, and Han Solo is the best part of episode 7 to me, just because he was like in the plot for most of it.
Yeah.
And I think that obviously that was probably the only way Harrison Ford wanted to come back to do the movie. Kill me off because he wanted to be killed off in Return of the Jedi famously, because he saw no place for his character to go, and he was correct. And with this one, it was like, oh, I was just an asshole father in the Force Awakens. So it says immensely satisfying, very emotional. And then the mixed reviews is that it's a bit convoluted, big changes in direction from episode 8. We're not surprised about that. And then someone said, one article's already saying, Rise of Skywalker reactions say sequel feels like an apology for The Last Jedi. You can't do this with your trilogy. You just you can't have it where, oh, we fucked up. Sorry. Now we're going to do the real movie we wanted to do.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Then it tarnishes both movies when you do that. Like, it's hard to go back and fix it. Anyway.
Yeah, you can't course correct in the third movie of a trilogy. Because then you end up feeling like that's what I'm saying before. Then you end up feeling like you don't have a trilogy. You have 3 separate movies.
You have 3, or 2 movies that are semi-connected with a big gap in between. That's all. This is a funny tweet. The Rise of Skywalker. Baby Yoda has been found dead in Miami is the first line. Someone just did a fake thing. That's funny. I just think that's funny here. So, all right. That's all I got to say. Maybe I'll do a short video, Ian. I never do like movie reactions, or rarely do. Maybe I'll just do a short one on Friday. Because it comes out, Thursday night it comes out?
Yeah.
Or Friday. And I'll just say, I'll do like a 10-minute video. I just think what this comes down to is I'm exhausted by Star Wars. We have a topic coming up later about toxic fandom, which isn't all about Star Wars, but it's it's tangentially related. I just think as I get older, I just have less of a hold on these things that I liked when I was like 5 and 6 and 7 years old. It's slipping away, I guess, at this point. The more I see it commercialized. Not that the original ones weren't commercialized.
I was going to say, they were plenty fucking commercial.
But now it's such a product where it's a steady... Star Wars used to be, we had 3 movies come out, and 2 of them came out before I was born, or 1 barely born, and then you had nothing. You had nothing at all for like 10 years, besides a few comics and novels.
Right.
And now you're guaranteed a Star Wars product every month of the year. Just about, with the shows, with the cartoons coming back. You know what I mean? Now it's always around. It's not special anymore. I mean, that's what it's not as special anymore.
Sure.
When I say that's what I mean about saying it's commercial. It's a steady product stream now. That's what I'll say, and it wasn't before.
Well, I also think this is how we've went from. I think that's why we have all of these Star Wars fans now, wondering, when they're gonna get their Star Wars back. And there's a lot of revisionism lately where people are like, "Oh, well, the prequels are fine." No,
they're not.
No, they're not.
Horrible.
They're not.
And that was the beginning of the end.
And I'm gentler on the prequels than most people because I like the concept of the political stuff. But
it's not executed well.
No, but I like the idea of it. But no, they were bad movies. They were fucking awful movies. And I will say that about
bad action, bad CG, bad dialogue.
Revenge of the Sith
almost
was
no
bad
characterization.
Too.
Almost no characterization for characters like Padme. Qui-Gon has no character at all.
Yeah.
In that movie, and then Jar Jar is fucking horrendous. I don't know how we just gloss over that. Oh, those were no. Jar Jar was one of the worst characters ever put on film.
And it was just. You had the Star Wars that existed when you became a fan, and then Star Wars became something different entirely.
With Phantom Menace.
With Phantom Menace. Yeah. And that's when it became, I mean, obviously the first ones were commercial, but that's when it became a product entity.
A product pusher.
Yeah.
More so than the original.
More than anything. Yeah. And I see these people who are angry about all this Star Wars stuff, and it's just, I've said it before, but maybe take 2 steps back and realize that if you haven't liked 2/3 of it, that you can still like the movies, but you don't have to call yourself a Star Wars fan. You don't have to be part of the fandom. You're allowed to pick and choose. And I don't know. It's weird to see people constantly going back to it, expecting it to change into something that I don't even know you can define at this point.
It's almost like a way how this. I wasn't around for it, but originally, when the Next Generation came out, Star Trek Next Generation, people from the original Star Trek, those fans were pissed off.
Sure.
I'm not sure to the same extent. There was no social media back in, what was Next Generation? 90, it was 90 or 89?
89.
No, 87 or 88.
88 or 89.
It was around.
It was 88, I think.
It was around there. They were pissed off because they were still making movies with the original cast,
Yep.
which were still popular, still making money. They're like, how dare you do this to us? But you know what happened? Next Generation was brilliant. You needed to have a different cast and different style for that. And with Star Trek, it's allowed to change. It was because they did 4 or 5 series where each one was radically different. Deep Space Nine was great, and that was
it's totally different
and totally different in tone from Next Generation. Then you had Voyager. Some people like Voyager, some people don't. The whole point is that it changed every like 6 years or so, with 7 years, with some crossover in between. Star Wars hasn't been like that. Star Wars has been, this is Star Wars for 15, 20 years, original trilogy. Now we have Phantom Menace for 5 years. Then we have nothing for 15 years again until these new movies. So you have these generational shifts, and along the way, you have people that grew up with these specific set of 3 movies saying, this is my Star Wars,
right,
and nothing else around it. Now, it's Star Wars is almost like Star Trek now, because now you have all these TV shows, and you have movies at the same time, and you have these varying things of what Star Wars is, on the screen at least. You always had different types of comic books, but no one really read those Dark Horse comics. They weren't that popular in the early 90s. And then the video games were just for video game fans. That was a niche thing on the PC. But now it's like Star Wars is whatever you want it to be, and some people don't like that.
Sure.
That's what it's become. And I'd say it's lost its luster as a magical, property, because it was so special that we didn't get a movie for like 15 years until The Phantom Menace. And then in The Phantom Menace, I sat there literally theater empty that Saturday afternoon. I was just like, all right, great. I think that's what I said to myself after watching The Phantom Menace. And then I sold all my toys I was collecting, like, within a couple years. I was done. I was even done before Attack of the Clones. And Attack of the Clones was actually a worse movie than Phantom Menace.
Oh, agreed.
That was horrific. From the romantic subplot alone. I remember being in the theater, and I was in college then. That was my senior year, 2002. And then people next to me were like, shh. I was at the screen yelling, like, after, like, it's course, like, I was like, I actually said, come on, in the theater. And the friends next to me were like, shh, like they're watching fucking Shakespeare. And then when Yoda started flipping around, I just rolled my eyes. I said, that's not Yoda. I don't know what I'm watching anymore. I don't know what I'm watching. And they were like, oh my God, it was awesome seeing Yoda flip around. And that's when I knew I'm not a Star Wars fan anymore. I'm a fan of 3 movies that came out, mostly before I was born. That's when I kind of realized it at the time, Ian.
Sure.
I like some things about Star Wars, but I am not a Star Wars fan, if that makes sense.
Yes.
That's what I've converted into slowly but surely.
And that's what I've always been.
And that's when I sold off all my Star Wars toys. I think that's what I realized. I was like, yeah, I'm not a fan anymore. I'm just like, I like some of these movies.
If people ask me, hey, do you like Star Wars? I'll be like, yeah, I like Star Wars.
I don't need to have I don't need to have the Boba Fett Return of the Jedi figure on my shelf anymore. I don't need that. But then it became video games, and the psychoses transferred over and to collecting. That's almost kind of what happened. It went from collecting Star Wars toys and some comic books into toys and collecting video games. That's what happened. But hey, I made a career out of it. So there you go. All right, so go see The Rise of Skywalker. Just have a dumb, fun time. See how they made a zombie emperor. He was the best part of the original. The prequel trilogy was Palpatine by far. The only person that might have had a semi-character arc in the whole freaking trilogy.
Yeah, honestly, when you think about it.